Good morning and welcome to TSLNIGERIA TV, Politics and Power, your regular program that comes to you every Monday and Wednesdays. As the 2023 general election is coming, we are looking at the issues that are surrounding the elections. The political gladiators are starting to wrestle in the field of politics. Today I have a politician, Honorable Architect Frank Evbuomwan. He's a two-time commissioner and the immediate past Managing Director of Edo Geographical Information Service. Welcome, sir. It's a pleasure to have you, sir.
Thank you. Good morning.
Sir, looking at the Ekiti and Osun elections, would you say that INEC is prepared for the 2022 general elections?
Yes, I think so. I think they've acquitted themselves very well. The elections are widely adjudged to be mostly free and fair. And yeah, INEC is still a work in progress, but they're improving their processes every day. And we cannot but give them kudos for those two elections.
Okay, a lot of people complain that one aspect where INEC haven't been able to address is the issue of vote buying. And you could tell in the Ekiti elections, there was a lot of vote buying. Even in the Osun elections, a lot of vote buying, and nothing has been done to address those concerns that a lot of people are raising.
Well, I think we all forget that INEC is not the police. Illegalities are the exclusive preserves of the security agencies. So, has the police arrested anybody and INEC said no? So, we really need to put the right people to task here. And when you say vote buying, it's a bit of a willing buyer, willing seller. Now, if the buying and selling is illegal, you don't expect INEC to leave the polling booths to go to the streets to start enforcing it. All INEC can do is ensure that when you come to your polling station, you observe all the rules and regulations, conduct yourself in an orderly manner, they count the votes, they release the results in an orderly fashion. Any other thing extraneous to this really is within the purview of the Nigerian police.
So I would let me draw your attention back to a country like Tanzania, where in the electoral system, any kind of inducement, any kind of gifts on the field of elections, where maybe at the police center is considered an inducement, and it attracts a criminal penalty, either to the political parties or to the agents of the political parties who are carrying out the function of the political parties. So if we say that it's exclusively the right of the police, then there's an obvious flaw. If you look at it from the other angle, there's an obvious flaw in the system because.
Well, okay. So we're in Nigeria and we operate under the Nigerian law, and under Nigerian law, you cannot convict somebody by proxy. If somebody is doing vote buying, how do you leverage that punishment on the party? How are you sure which party is involved? It's not as if they write on their chest, I'm a vote seller, or I want to buy your votes. You don't put it on your chest. So who is doing what? I think we're dodging the issue here. What we are dodging is that there's a certain lack of nationalism, a certain lack of, let me use the word Nigerianness amongst our voters. Poverty has been weaponized. And our people also have very, very low standards. I mean, you expect me to collect 4, 5, 10,000 and put somebody there who will then mismanage for 4 years? So if we have people who have a bit more vision about what they are supposed to be, what their country is supposed to be, they will not sell their votes, right? So for me, it's a question of voter enlightenment. You continue to talk to the people, you continue to attack the people, method of thinking, way of thinking. You continue to we live in a society where morality is applauded. And nothing can be in isolation of the other. Somebody wakes up in the morning, it's 18, 19, 20, they say he's doing something called Yahoo, Yahoo, he buys a car, and we all clap. We applaud him. We say he's doing well. Ask many of the young men out there, what's your job? Or women, they will say hustling. Is hustling a job? So we live in a society that encourages all this type of behavior. And it starts from education. That's why I said, look, blaming INEC is running away from the problem. INEC can only enforce the law as it is given to them. So a law that is not given to them, they can't enforce. Under which law now are you going to sanction any of the political parties if somebody is misbehaving outside? There's no such law in Nigeria. But so it's good to quote Tanzania, but I will also quote countries like USA, England, and so on, where voters volunteer for their party. They work without pay. So it's all in the mindset of people. For such a person, selling your vote does not even arise. It's not even a question to be discussed. Because he's already putting his own personal effort into ensuring that the right candidate emerges as a winner. But here we see electioneering as merchandising, selling and buying. If you vote for me, there was a video I saw of two young ladies who had just voted in the Ekiti election, and they were boasting that they sold their votes happily. So what is INEC supposed to do? Arrest all the voters in the country? Is that a feasible solution?
No.
So let us work on what is feasible. So we have to stay on voters' enlightenment. We have to stay on talking to our people. If there is no willing taker, there will be no vote buying.
Okay, but there is a law in Nigeria that says that put a financial cap on political parties, and I can see that from 1999, no political party has been sanctioned for flouting that law, despite the fact that I think it's about $1 billion or so. But every political party spends far more than $1 billion, even for elections like state elections. So and nothing has been done to sanction the political parties or to even make an example of any of the political parties.
So can I come back to you with a question? Have you seen the financials of any of the political parties?
No, sir.
So how do you know how much they've spent? Well, that's the problem. That's the problem. We also live in a society that does not believe in data.
Looking at the PDP primaries and the APC primaries, for example.
Yes.
You could see the dollarization of the primaries.
No, I didn't see any dollars.
Well,
I read about it.
It was reported
yes, I read about it.
Thousands of dollars were given to people to buy votes.
I didn't see any.
Okay.
And the moment we move away from speculation to tackling real issues, we'll begin to solve real problems, right? First of all, why has INEC not published the financials of all the political parties? Why are they not published? Why is it not in public domain? So how do you guard against what you can't see?
So is it INEC who should publish?
I think it's the onus lies on INEC to audit these people.
Okay, to publish.
Yes. Now, if the onus lies on INEC to audit the political parties, why has INEC not made public its findings? Political parties themselves, are they audited? I've never heard of a political party being audited.
Me too.
So how do we then situate spending of money? You see, we like to jump the gun a lot. Like I was saying before, we're a society that also does not believe in data. When you start quoting numbers at people, they start getting irritated. Because they don't want to hear that. All they want to hear is Mr. A stole money, Mr. B embezzled that. Yeah, it's happening. But who is auditing who? As simple as, or as national as NNPC, now NNPC PLC is. Have you ever seen any of the audited reports? This will not happen in a civilized part of the world. Even if you don't publish it on the pages of newspapers, at least it will be on your website where I can go and read. Every company on the stock market has audited reports. Everybody that's supposed to be audited, why are your reports not done? Why are the agents or agencies in charge of sanctioning such not doing their job? So it's a lot beyond INEC. Every day we hear of ESCC, ICPC arresting this, doing that. How many of those reports do you see?
Okay, so let's take a break from INEC and look at the security architecture in the country. A lot of people are starting to get worried that, considering the security challenges Nigeria is currently facing in the northeast, the southeast, and even in Abuja today, that the 2020 elections might just be a mirage. It may not hold. So what do you have to say about that, sir?
2023 election has to hold. we will not allow, or we should not allow our country to be blackmailed into not holding elections. If that is the end game of those terrorizing Nigeria, then all of us must rise up and say, it's not going to happen. You've done your 8 years, whether you've done very well or you've done poorly, vacate the scene, let somebody else come in. So, yes, there are security challenges. I don't know any part of Nigeria that doesn't have security challenges at this point in time. But these are issues for me, for the political parties to handle during their campaign, to tell us, how are you going to get us out of this mess that we are in? We should not be talking about whether elections will hold on. Elections must hold. We need to move forward. And we cannot move forward in a situation where some people create some problems in some corners and they say, because of that, let us cancel elections. We will always be subject to what's the word now? To blackmail. Political blackmail for anybody to suggest that the 2023 elections should not hold for any reason whatsoever. Whatever the problems are, we should face them head on. Hold our elections, select our leaders, so that we can chart a new course for this country.
So, if you look at, for example, in 2015, due to the challenges, security challenges that they had in states like Borno and Yobe, a lot of people questioned the votes that came out from those areas. The reason is because they feel that if you have this kind of massive security challenge where many of the local governments are under Boko Haram, were under, as at that time, Boko Haram control before the elections and all of that, then how were those numbers able to arise? Because we didn't see all of those in the elections. It means that somebody was just there cooking up the numbers or something like that. So do you think that we also can have a free and fair election with all the security challenges that we're facing? Can we sincerely now say that we are looking at the free and fair elections where Nigerians will come out, participate in the process, and their votes will be counted, and it will reflect the true will of the Nigerian people?
For me, the true will of the Nigerian people is to have a country that works. And going through whatever challenges we are going through, I will not deny the challenges. I won't. But I do not believe the challenges will stop having free and fair elections. When you talk about Borno and the last result, and look, I have to trust INEC. I'm not part of the school of thought of people, conspiracy theorists who sit down, sing conspiracy everywhere. For me, it's a waste of everybody's intellectual time. As far as I can say, if we believe that INEC did a good job in Ekiti, and we believe that INEC did a good job in Osun, there is no reason why INEC would not do a good job in 2023. Politicians have one major fatal flaw. Every election they lose, they believe it is rigged. It's not true. It is not true. You cannot rig, as somebody who has practiced politics, you cannot rig an election where you are not popular. It's not possible. If it was possible, I would go to Kano and go and write results for myself. And I'll become the governor of Kano State. Abi? Is it going to happen?
No.
It will not happen. So, as far as I have confidence in INEC, mostly because I have no choice. I have to have confidence in them. And with that positive frame of mind, if everybody approaches that election with a positive frame of mind, go and vote. Don't use an excuse to say, oh, there are insecurity in Borno, so I will not go and vote in Benin. Oh, I heard that they are fighting in Kobahe, so GRA, I won't go outside and vote. These are excuses we have to not do our civic responsibility. And then when people who, because if you do not vote, let me tell you what happens. For every Nigerian that does not vote, he has lost an opportunity to influence an election. The politicians have their core supporters. Their core supporters will vote. The people that really change elections are the common people on the streets who want to see one person or the other for one reason or the other. Now, if those people stay out of politics, guess what? The politicians with the largest amount of followership will always win. So we cannot come tomorrow and start complaining. Oh, Mr. A has won, Mr. B has won, the country did not vote for him. Which country? Did you vote? When I see 10%, 15% of registered voters voting, we have no right to complain. Go out there and vote. Conduct yourself in a peaceful manner. Cast your vote, go back home and wait for it to be counted. And the election will be free and fair. If you do not give room for violence, there will be no violence. I have participated in several elections, and I have never encountered any violence in any of my polling units. Because when we go there, we're not going there to fight. I'm just going there to take a ballot paper, stick my thumb on it, drop it in a box, and go home. Right? Now, the moment more and more people come out to vote, it becomes impossible for politicians and thugs to hijack the process. It is the numbers, it is by numbers that you can defeat. Power is not given, power is taken. So it is when the people come out in mass and vote that you can defeat whoever you want to defeat. If not, if only the supporters of the politicians are on the ballot paper, please tell me who will win the election.
Well, I mean, the question is to you, sir, not to me.
If I am contesting and only my followers are in a political in a polling station, is there any way I will lose that election?
No.
So anybody in that area who has a better choice must come out and express that choice.
Okay, sir. So let's look at the political parties themselves. You know, we have the PDP, which have been a traditional party in Nigerian politics. Then in 2015 came the APC. They've had power since 2015 to 2022. And now we're having what most Nigerians call the third force, or the Peter Obi movement, or the Labour Party, as you may call it. Do you think that, looking at the Labour Party or the Peter Obi movement, do you think that it can metamorphose into a force that can win the 2023 general election, sir?
Okay. So first of all, I do not think we have only 3 political parties. I know for a fact that we have quite a lot more than that. AA Action Party, ADC, YPP Youth Party, so many parties we have, really. In fact, INEC had to deregister some of them. There was a time, I think we had almost 78 of them trying to vie for elections. And of this lot, APC and PDP have been the only ones that have up till now been able to put together a lot of resources, both human and material, to come forward in a partisan faction. Right, so Peter Obi left PDP and went to Labour Party. But before he went there was Labour Party. The Labour Party has been in existence almost as long as PDP has been in existence.
Yes. Even at the point they had a governor.
That's right, Governor Mimiko of Ondo State. So it's not right to say it is Peter Obi that's bringing out Labour. Labour has been in existence, but Labour offered this platform to Peter Obi, and for me it's a welcome change. Well, why do I say it's a welcome change? The more choices we have, the better our chances of choosing a good leader. I would have been happier if we even had 2 or 3 more also very vibrant and tenable political parties. Right now, we have, I don't know, as we speak now, Labour doesn't have any presence in the National Assembly that I'm aware of. I might be wrong. Neither do they have in any of the state legislation that I'm aware of. But I think they have one somewhere to stay. I don't know. So I worry when you say third force. I worry when you say third force. This is how political parties work. We have units. From the units, you go to the wards. From the wards, you go to the local government. From the local government, there's the states, right? And then states, well, you can say zones, but not really zones. You go national. At every step, you need to have people, right? But the step that is the most critical of them all is the units, because all politics is local. When people say, oh, everybody voted for Buhari, or anybody voted for this or voted for that. It's not really true. Buhari didn't campaign to everybody. At the unit level, the political parties' leaders at that unit level that campaigns on behalf of their national candidate, that campaign on behalf of their state candidate, and so on and so forth. So if you do not have the mechanism at that level, I really wonder how you can force it from up down. I really wonder. So does Labour have a strong presence all the way down? I am not sure. But they can build it. It can be built. Every structure can be built. So between now and 2023, do they have enough to offset the major parties? And let me give a caveat here. I am not a supporter of the Labour Party. Neither am I a supporter of Peter Obi, their candidate. So you should also put that in perspective when going through my comments. But I recognize that Peter Obi is giving all the other political parties sleepless nights. He has the capacity to upturn the tables, so to speak. It would be naive to expect the older parties to relax, fold their arms, and do nothing about it. So I'm sure the PDP and APC are also strategizing on how to ensure that their grip on the grassroots are not loosened in any way. Let me say this for free. If PDP had brought out Peter Obi, we probably have a different political talk today. But for 2023, I don't know what will happen beyond 2023. For 2023, I honestly cannot look beyond APC or PDP, in my own sincere opinion. I hope, or several Nigerians hope I'm wrong, but for me, being a realist that I am, I don't see it happening. Yeah, you just have barely 5 months to build your base, to get a unit leader, to get unit executives, to get unit mobilizers, to get door-to-door canvassers. People don't vote because of what they read. How many people buy newspapers? Just do your check, statistics. How many newspapers are sold a day in Nigeria? What's our population? How many people have internet? How many people can afford data on a regular basis? How many people can afford smartphones? See, the challenge with us, the so-called elites, in our beautiful offices, lovely homes, iPhones and Samsungs and all that, we think the whole country is like that. But the statistics show that more than 3/4 of Nigerians live on less than $2 a day. Even with Naira on its knees as it is presently, let us use 700 as valuation. $2 is 1,400 Naira a day. How much of that is going to use for data before you will eat, before you will pay rent, send children to school? You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So that's why if you listen to Falana, I mean, maybe I shouldn't go there because I don't want to appear to be campaigning for this. But if you listen to Falana, he got to the roots of issues. You're not going to be able to sit in Lagos or Abuja or New York or Dubai and win elections if you do not have people at the grassroots that believe in your movement.
Thank you, sir. Finally, I would like to look at this current administration, and I would like to get your assessment on the Buhari administration, and to know, in your opinion, would you say that this administration has done well for Nigerians, and Nigerians better today off than they were in 2015, and Nigerians richer today than they were in 2015? And Nigerians more safer today than they were in 2015?
Okay, that's a very good one. I'm not going to trumpet anybody's praises, but I'm also not going to demonize anybody. The whole world is poorer today. 2 major reasons: COVID, Ukraine. We are hearing of 40-year high inflation in the US. We are hearing that people can no longer afford to buy fuel in the UK, and government is having to help them pay. So yes, economic-wise, the whole world is poorer, right? As a matter of fact, if you look at the statistics, Nigerian inflation rates of about 19 to 20% is far lower than what our neighboring African countries have. Ghana is about 30-something percent. In fact, Ghana is broke. The Ghanaian national government does not buy cars anymore, does not give fuel anymore. National government, I'm not talking of state or local. Sri Lanka chased their president out of their country. The country was shut down. They didn't have 1 liter of fuel left in their reserves. Pakistan is struggling, and then they get hit with a tsunami as well. So the whole world is poor right now, thanks to the war going on in Ukraine and to COVID. Economically, Nigeria could be better. But Nigeria is also not at the worst state. I listened to an article where they mentioned the 20 countries most likely to default economically. Nigeria was not there. But to the common man on the street, we are facing rapid inflation. But I think the greatest problem we have today is not the dollar exchange. Dollar exchange affects people like me and you that want to travel abroad or buy imported goods. It doesn't affect the farmer who just farms yam and gari in Ekpoma or Irua. So it's not the dollar exchange that is his major problem. His major problem is he cannot go to the farm. That is his greatest challenge right now. The insecurity is bad. And there is no sugarcoating it. If your National Guard can be attacked in your national capital, if your elite defense academy can be attacked and the attackers are not arrested or lying on the ground dead, you know you have a huge security issue. Is it the worst in the world? No, it is not. But I can only think of countries at war that are worse than we are. Countries that are, Nigeria is not at war technically, but I actually think we are at war really.
So, in your assessments, because my question was your assessment of the administration. So in your assessment, would you say that the President Muhammadu Buhari has done well?
He's done the best he can do within the limitations that he imposed on himself. Infrastructure-wise, he has made some breakthroughs. Second Niger Bridge, your train stations, blah, blah, blah. Breakthroughs there.
But we can see that most of the federal roads are in shambles, sir.
True. But a lot of those federal roads have also been completely revamped and are well. Unfortunately for us in this part, where we can start naming names. I can start from Lagos, Ibadan, and go all the way to Kano and so on and so forth. On the Pani, on the Calabar, Bakassi, going all the way to Cameroon Republic. I can name names, but that will be boring to the viewers. So let us just stick to the principles behind it. It's unfortunate that in this part of the world, we have not felt the federal presence. I can't go to Ekpoma if I wanted to go to. Going to Warri is a nightmare, right? So I can understand us feeling here that it is really bad nationally. But there are parts of the country that things are going better. In Benue State, for instance, the longest bridge over River Benue has just been completed. Like I spoke about Second Niger Bridge, the bridge going to Cameroon and all that and so forth. So in that aspect of infrastructure, yeah, the airports are better equipped and so on and so forth. Unfortunately, you will not feel those effects. It's like what they call the wind chill. If the temperature outside is 10 degrees and you have cold wind, it will feel like 0 degrees. That's what we are feeling now. Because of the insecurity, we cannot enjoy this infrastructure. Although there are no train stations in this part of Nigeria, where they have it, like Abuja, Kaduna, and so on, they dare not even use it anymore because of what? Insecurity. Even though the Kaduna-Abuja Expressway is beautiful and a lot of joy to drive on, our people are not able to enjoy it because of what? Insecurity. So insecurity is overshadowing everything President Buhari has done. And any assessment of President Buhari is going to be dictated by the insecurity in the country. And as far as I'm concerned, security-wise, this administration has not done enough.
Thank you. That's where we'll leave you for today. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
So please do well to follow our YouTube channel. Click on the notification so that you get our videos first time. We'll be back here again on Monday with another exciting topic and a very exciting guest as well. Please like our page, TSLNIGERIA TV.com, and follow us. Thank you. Bye-bye. See you on Monday.